Huse Madhavji, I cannot believe I'm sitting here in your bachelor pad.
Right.
And we are getting ready to chat after all the years that we've known each other.
Yeah.
Remember back in 2007 when ANOKHI had its first awards show.
Yeah.
And it was at the Phoenix.
Yes.
And you...
Yeah, I presented.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was that 07?
It was 2007, yeah.
Wow, that's right, yeah.
And this was back in your like Star TV days.
Yeah,
and all that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember the Phoenix. I had a good time there, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So a lot has happened for you since then. You had this whole plan for your life at that time when we first met.
At Star, yeah.
And you know, media, and that was the whole thing that you were going to be, and I loved your personality on there. And I was like, damn, that's a brown boy representing, and he's not acting quote unquote brown. I mean, he could really be like any nationality, which is what I love, right?
Yeah.
And then that was really fabulous. But then all of a sudden, you know, you hit us all with a curveball and decide that you're not going to do that anymore, and you decided to go into acting.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what brought that on.
As a kid, I've always done, I used to always MC and do a lot of speeches, and I used to do a lot of theater growing up. So that theater bug was always in me. And, you know, having proud South Asian parents, it's like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm thinking about doing theater. And they're like, are you crazy? Like, that's not happening. They thought I was going to be a lawyer or a politician or something, you know, that would have to do with speaking.
Yes.
And so broadcasting, which is when I met you, whatever, that was sort of the compromise. And when all of that stuff ended, instead of going into the next hosting job, I just said, okay, hold on for a second. Now I can do what I want to do now.
Yeah.
You know? Like my dad's big thing was like, as long as you wear a suit on television, then you made it, and I did it, and so then I was like, I'm gonna go do it. So I stopped. I literally stopped all that momentum, and I took a chance.
But it happened really quick for you, like the momentum for you when you decided that this is what you want to do. I mean, you did the play.
I did 30 Dates, Fanula's play,
which was totally friggin' great.
Yeah, so I did that. In that. Thank you. So I did that while I was at Star. So I kind of was already feeling it. Like I did the play. I got cast in a CBC pilot called Throwing Stones, which had one episode, but it was while I was hosting, and it was sort of like I was sort of moonlighting as an actor.
Why do you think that, you know, your momentum was, you know, really like on warp speed?
Like I'm still looking for this break. I'm still looking for warp speed. But I will say that I was fortunate enough to, I got cast in a couple really cool things. Like I did this show called The Bridge, which is like, I was like, okay, I did that, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then I got cast in Call Me Fitz.
Yes.
Which
was like the break though, babe.
I guess that's sort of like
I mean, I'm not saying the utopian
Like I'm extremely grateful for that show,
yeah.
Because we did 4 seasons of that. That's a lot, I think. It is a lot.
Yes.
And it was like a critical hit. Like we won all these awards in the first season right out the gate.
Yes.
And it was working alongside some incredible talent, including Jason Priestley, who's like a fantastic mentor.
Yeah.
And the creator of the show, Sherry Elwood, she's like, these are like some of the best our country has to offer.
You've had a great momentum in Canada, of course. I mean, really, like the stellar best that you can do in terms of getting an opportunity for TV. You've pretty much got that, babe. What next for you? Like, you know, obviously, you know, Canada is a very viable and important market for you. I mean, this is home, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But as an actor, you know, you can't look at geography, you have to look at opportunity. Right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about what's going on, you know, maybe behind the scenes, or some thoughts you have for the future in terms of other opportunities for acting and stuff. Are we going to see you in Bollywood?
Right. So
is that going to happen?
I would totally do. I think I would want to do what I'm doing right now first, and then yeah, for sure.
Wait, Hollywood. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I split my time now. I started that recently between Los Angeles and here, Toronto. Essentially, whatever I started with in Toronto, which is like, okay, I'm gonna go, you know, start this career. It's doing that now in Los Angeles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's basically it. So it's just looking for newer opportunities, more interesting opportunities.
Yeah. You
know, just constantly moving forward. It's all about forward progression.
Absolutely.
Outside of that, I write. So my writing partner and I, we've done a couple, like we have a couple pilots that we've written together, which we're shopping around, and then we did a really great short film, which I'm proud of.
Oh, really?
We just premiered.
Didn't you just premiere that at Filmi?
Yeah, Filmi. Dinesh was like, I want to do it at my festival.
Yes.
And he was so great about it.
And?
It was awesome. It was great. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. And so we co-wrote it. I'm in it. He directed it. He's a great director.
Yeah.
And we shot it in India and Dubai
wow.
and here.
That's incredible, babe.
Yeah, it was
How
really
did you make all that work? So now you're not just the guy that's in front of the camera. You're the guy that has to make sure that the authenticity of your script manifests, you know, on camera in the right way, right? I mean, the cinematography, telling that story is really important, right?
Yeah.
From paper to the visual, you know, the platform.
Totally, yeah.
I know that, knowing you, I know that you're probably heavily involved in that process. And considering that you did it in 3 different countries, walk me through that process.
First of all, RT, who is not South Asian, he's one of the best music video directors in the country, and he's like he has an incredible eye. He's like extremely talented.
Yeah.
So he came with me. He's like, I want to go to Dubai with you. My younger sister lives in Dubai, and I go every year to see her. He's like, listen, I want to come with you to Dubai. So I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to go to Dubai. Then I'm going to India. Do you want to roll? And he's like, okay, fine. So he has like, you know, if you go to India, I go to India, we're just thinking we're going to go experience our culture,
Absolutely.
you know, touch base with home, Mother India, that sort of feel.
Absolutely.
But for him, it was all about like, you know, wait, there's a lot of, it's like a conflict area. Going to the Middle East was also interesting for him. So it was this, we started getting into this conversation about conflict and, you know, why certain, why people are born with, you know, like a certain skewed opinion of another culture without really even understanding the history of it, you know?
Yeah.
And so we got into this big discussion.
And what was his opinion and what was yours?
It was the same. It was the same. It was basically like, you can't really escape it. Like you're born, you've got a clean slate. You really have no opinion whatsoever of who's across that border or what the person with that color skin or, you know, those color eyes or that person's faith. You really, doesn't matter what a child, you don't really know.
Right.
But when you start living and, you know, you start experiencing your atmosphere, people are teaching you certain things, then you start developing an opinion without really understanding the history or, you know, who these people are. And all of a sudden now you either hate them or you love them and you're on their side, you're on my side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we did this short film and that was all about that. It was all about like, how does somebody get rid of bias? How does somebody get rid of hate, essentially? And that's what it's about. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm really proud of it. Yeah.
I also want to ask you a little bit about, you know, you're very much involved in, you know, charity initiatives and a lot of human interest scenarios. You're very much involved in the Aga Khan, you know, organization that does this annual fundraiser.
Oh,
they have you, they have you involved every single year. So talk to me about that part of your life.
Yeah, I've been involved with the World Partnership Walk. I'm very proud of the foundation, the charity that it does, because it's the largest event in the country that supports development projects in Asia and Africa.
That's a big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah.
There's walks all across the country, and the best thing about it, which I love, is that 100%, and this is so rare, I've yet to find like a charity that is that big that can donate 100% of the funds to the cause, right? To projects.
I don't think there is any out there,
so like,
to be honest. Because I mean, they talk about like 80% of the money raised. I mean, there's some ridiculous stats associated with a lot of these, you know, foundations, organizations that are all over the world.
Well, you need
hardly nothing goes to the cause.
And even some of the greater ones, like, but you need money for administration. Like people are doing a full-time job. Like you need to compensate them. For some of these people who do who like really spearhead the walk, for example, it's like another job. It's like another full-time job for them, and they do it with like open heart, open arms. They're ready to go. And the people that are getting paid, who are the funds come from elsewhere, so the money that is raised goes directly towards the projects. And it's all about like empowering women and education and children and rural development, and they work with great NGOs in different parts of the world. So I'm involved with it. I mean, I started it because it stems from my community, but I stayed with it because I just love what they do. Like I love listen, man, we're South Asian. You know, the idea of the dollar has to go as far as possible.
Yes, no, absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely.
And this one it does. It really does.
This one it totally does. The whole dollar goes there.
Yeah.
So how do your parents feel about what you do now?
They're good. My parents are like, I don't think they ever really understand it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think they're proud, but they're just like.
But they still don't get.
They don't get
what you do for a living.
Yeah, like even when I was on Star, they got it, but they just don't. It's just not like I know what my son does. It's not that. And even my two sisters, like we're all kind of in the arts, like they're in fashion and I'm doing this. And they're not like that at all. They're kind of like, whose kids are these?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You guys are such an unconventional family. I mean, you've got these strong role models in your life that are women.
Yeah, I do.
Your sisters, your mom, right?
Yeah.
You think that has also helped shape the kind of guy you are?
I've got great female role models, for sure.
Yeah. So how has that factored over into your personal life, darling? Let's go there.
With nothing, great.
Yeah, so like, how are women in your life?
Who, my sisters or my mom?
No, I'm talking about women in your life now.
They're fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of woman would be the kind of woman that you would date? I'm not going to ask you if you are dating her right now. I'm just going to ask you, what would you look for?
I like someone who has a passion for something.
Yeah.
Like I like being with people who are open to knowing about that, who have their own thing, because I like learning new things.
Yeah.
I like people who think outside of our borders, who think that we're all sort of like this one little...
We're all connected somehow.
One little global village.
Yeah.
It's a Marshall McLuhan phrase. But that we're kind of like a little global village. Like I like people who think like that.
Yeah.
I like people who've got like a really strong sense of family. So I have a strong sense of family. I think that's really important.
So future. Talk to me about future. What's on your bucket list, even though the bucket list is far away for you, but like, what are those things that you absolutely want to do? What are those milestone things that you want to get through in life?
In my career, I want to, I've shot a feature already. I want to do more feature film storytelling. I want to create television. I've been on television, not just as a television host, but also as an actor now for the past since the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So I want to create my own program. I want to record an album.
Yeah. Well, you play the guitar.
Yeah, I'm like a songwriter, and I would like to do that. I would like to, at some point.
What would be your music style?
I have no idea. I don't know. It would be like, right now it's just me and my guitar. Like it sounds like a crappier version of Ben Harper or Eddie Vedder. much worse version, but whatever. I compared myself to them, that's right. But I would like to take that music and put it out.
It's been such a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah.
I adore you.
Likewise. Darling, I adore you.
Give me a hug.
All right.
It was fabulous.
You're so fabulous.
Fabulous, darling. It was fabulous.
It was fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.